Bitcoin is dumping hard again below the $69,000, but this crash is nothing to worry about if you ask me. And in this video I'm going to tell you exactly how you can prepare for the next Bitcoin move. Because zooming out on the charts we can actually see that Bitcoin is trying to fool us all. So you can be prepared if you watch this video all the way to the end. Because I will tell you exactly how you can prepare for this next Bitcoin move. We can also see a lot of interesting news and data coming into the market for with the Ethereum and the Bitcoin ETFs, and I will discuss everything with you in this video, so you don't want to miss any of this. I will also have a look at the two altcoins, Thorchain RUNE and Dogecoin, but about that later in the video. So sit back, watch this video all the way to the end, don't forget to slap up that like button, and let's dive right into the charts. Of course, Bitcoin saw a huge move back to the $69,000 after reaching the previous all-time high. But we can also see now a huge bullish divergence is unfolding. We are seeing higher lows on the chart, but on the RSI we can see lower lows. So this is looking very bullish, and we can see a bullish divergence is unfolding. So this means that the selling pressure is cooling off a little bit, and we could potentially see a spike to the top side on the RSI, and this would also cause a very interesting price action for Bitcoin. So we could potentially see a spike to the top side later today if this bullish divergence plays out. And if we then zoom out to the Bitcoin daily time frame, I was telling you that this move for Bitcoin could happen anytime, and I was talking about it when Bitcoin was at this all-time high. And I was telling you that we could potentially see a little bit of a retracement back to previous resistance to test it as support, and that would also of course be very healthy price action, because then Bitcoin could make a new higher low. And if we then have a look on the chart, we can see that Bitcoin exactly came back to this previous resistance, and now we tested it as support. And from this level I entered the market for Bitcoin again, because my limit orders were set here, and I sold a little bit of my portion just like I told you at the previous all-time high. So Bitcoin is now seeing a little bit of a bounce already from this level. So let's see if we now can continue the uptrend for Bitcoin and just create a higher low, so Bitcoin can continue the bullish uptrend to the top side. So you were warned about this retracement, and this previous resistance is now being turned into support. And the Bitcoin ETFs now hold more than 1 billion Bitcoin, which is worth more than $72.5 billion. So this is insane, of course. And if we have a look at the Bitcoin ETF inflows of yesterday, we can see that BlackRock isn't stopping to buy more Bitcoin, but we can see a lot of Bitcoin ETFs are selling their portion yesterday. So this was having a little bit of a bearish effect. But overall we saw an inflow of $32.3 million. So this was a little bit of more of a bullish day yesterday. But of course the inflows are not significant, just like the other days. So of course we are now seeing again a spike to the top side. And we are seeing all-time high after all-time high, so this is looking very bullish. And let's see if we can end the week strong for the Bitcoin ETFs. And if we then have a quick look at the Ethereum ETFs, we eventually saw a bullish day. We saw almost a 50 million of inflows into the BlackRock ETF, but again Grayscale was selling. So we saw a total inflow of $13 million, and this was a little bit more bullish of course. But Ethereum, however, was not having a very good day yesterday. So let's see if also the Ethereum ETF can end the week strong. And let's have a look at this daily chart for Bitcoin with these horizontal levels that acted as resistance and support. And we saw that the previous highs were being gained, and these highs hasn't been retested as support yet. So we came all the way back to the previous all-time high. We saw a big rejection coming in, but this previous high that was broken to the top side wasn't been retested as support yet. And now we can see a clear retest again. So if this support holds for Bitcoin, Bitcoin can just create a new higher low, and then we can create more bullish momentum to the top side, and eventually we want to break this resistance level, and then we can create a new higher high, and then of course we can create a new all-time high. So this is looking very bullish actually, and this retest was very clear as I told you on my socials. And I've been telling you that these previous highs need to be retested as support in order to create a healthy uptrend. So this is exactly what is happening now, and I think we will just see a bounce from this level and create more topside. And if you then have a look at this chart with horizontal levels that act as resistance and support, we now fell below this support again, and we have to paint this level red. So we can see that this horizontal level is coming into play around the $69,000, and this is the level to hold for Bitcoin today. So let's see if we can see a bounce from this level and come back to the next big resistance around the $71,500, and that of course will be very bullish, and then Bitcoin can continue the uptrend to the top side. So this is the make or break point for Bitcoin, and I think we will see a huge bounce, because in the past we can see a lot of price interactions around this level, and I think this support is holding strong for now. So I think we will just see a bounce and that we come back to this $71,500. And the month of October just ended and we are now starting a new month for November. We can see that October was very bullish and we saw double digits. And we saw a rise of 10.7% of increase in October. And now November is starting a little bit red. But of course, when September and October were both bullish, we saw a very interesting November and December in the history of Bitcoin. And of course also October started red. So let's see if November and December can also be bullish for Bitcoin and if we can see double digits again. So if we're going to see double digits for November and December, I think we will see the 100K before the end of 2024. And let me know what your end of year projection is for Bitcoin and what the price of Bitcoin will be at the end of 2024. And looking at this Bitcoin daily uptrend, we can see that Bitcoin is still in this huge bullish momentum to the top side. And eventually we are now creating a higher low just like I was expecting. And I thought about this on my socials, so you could have been warned about this huge potential drop. And we are now retracing back to this previous high just like we did here. We tested this high after we broke it to the top side. So we are now seeing a huge retest of the previous high to test it as support. And from here we can just create a higher low and then we can create more bullish momentum to the top side and break eventually this high. And that will bring us to a new all-time high. So let's see if Bitcoin can just create more bullish momentum to the top side, because the trend is your friend and the trend is up. So we don't have to be ending the trend anytime soon unless we are going to see a break of this trend to the downside. But for now that is not happening anytime soon. So I think Bitcoin will just create a higher low and we will see exponential moves to the top side in the coming days. And yesterday we also had some interesting quotes from Donald Trump coming in, and he promises to end Kamala's war on crypto and Bitcoin. And in 4 days the presidential elections in the US will be happening, and this could have a very bullish effect on the price of Bitcoin if Donald Trump is going to win, of course. So let me know in the comments if you think Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is going to win the elections. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Dogecoin. We can see Dogecoin created a huge exponential move after breaking this huge resistance on the daily time frame. We broke out of this huge falling wedge formation. We created a bullish trend to the top side and now we're seeing exponential moves. But this huge breakout target of the falling wedge hasn't been reached yet, and that will be around the 20 cents. And of course there's also a little bit resistance coming into the market, and we can see a huge resistance area coming here into the market. Because in the past we saw huge price interactions around this level, and this level was acting as resistance and support. And for now this horizontal level is a little bit too strong for now. We are seeing a little bit of a rejection already. So we could come back to lower levels to test it as support again, and then Dogecoin could potentially create the more topside momentum, because we are still in a huge uptrend on the daily time frame. So let's see what Dogecoin can do in the coming days. But I was talking about this huge breakout for Dogecoin, and from this point of breakout you could have already made a 70% increase. So this was a very beautiful trade to make on Doge. So congratulations if you took this trade together with me, because a lot of community members had a lot of profits with this trade. So I think Dogecoin will just retest previous resistance levels as support, and from there we will see more topside momentum. And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Thorchain RUNE. We can see that Thorchain RUNE was breaking out of this huge consolidation formation to the top side, and we saw a very bullish candle outside of this formation to confirm the breakout. And I was telling you about this break on my socials, and I was also telling that we could potentially see a throwback to the previous resistance to test it as support, and that's exactly what we did. So we broke out, we saw a bullish confirmation of the break, and we're now seeing a huge throwback to retest this previous resistance as support. And from this level you could enter the market for Thorchain RUNE in a long, and then we can create more exponential moves. So this is a very bullish move for Thorchain, and we can see probably more exponential moves in the coming days. So of course there are also a lot of interesting resistance levels coming into the market, which you can be looking at. And we are now seeing this bullish break, but eventually I think this will be the next big make or break level for Thorchain, and that will be around the $7. And currently we are at the $5.50, so this could be an insane increase, and we could potentially make a trade of almost 35%. So keep in mind that this could be a very interesting trade for Thorchain RUNE to make. And let me know in the comments if you hold Thorchain RUNE in your portfolio and what your thoughts about RUNE are for the future. So please give a like if you find this video useful. Don't forget to follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.